see something a bit different here. I've put the radiator in. I finally got that. It was with Hermes. They take bloody forever. You might as well call them herpes at this point, because, you know, once the parcel's with you, they stick. I've got the fan installed as well, which was just a quick cheap buy from eBay. So you can just see just there, which runs off of the a general JST connector with up to the same battery setup I've shown before, with the possible plans for the rotary. But again, it's just a base 6-volt battery, nickel metal hydride. I've got 2 of them basically. So you've got the inlet here, which comes from the engine side, so that would be the hot end coming in, and then coming out you should have a pipe just down here somewhere. No, sorry, it's just there behind this one here, which then of course leads up to, so this pipe here leads up to a custom reservoir I've printed. It's all watertight and everything, but I wanted something that would fit within here, which you can see just here. Of course, I was planning to use a General Nitro fuel motor with tank, which would be a 75 milliliter one. But you know, you can see I've already done some work here to try and fit it in, but it doesn't fit in however much you want to try. It rubs up against the wheel, so that's not going to fly. So again, this is just a prototype. You know, it works as intended. Top screws off, and yeah, it allows me to fill up the reservoir. I don't think I can get it open with one hand. Use the other hand as well. There we go. So you see here, yeah, it's able to screw off. Again, this is a prototype, so I'm going to change the thread pitch and everything else like that. But you know, it allows me to have it in small confines, and also allows me to fill up the radiator. From there, instead of using this massive thing and maybe sticking it in the back, I want it scale. So that's how I'm going to get that scale in the first place. So again, once that's mounted down there, we'll get it all situated up. Fan, again, is already plugged in, ready to go. It already runs. Let me just kind of show you that now. Where is the switch? There we go. You won't be able to see it, but you'll be able to hear it. Yeah, so I guess the only thing I have left to do is sort out the throttle linkage just here, and then the engine would technically be functional at this point. Of course, you know, just here we're missing pretty much the carbon fiber base I'm planning to use as a base, with some, I guess, 3D printed supports, and then of course the throttle linkage will be just down there somewhere. And then we'll also have the gearbox just here, or I guess the transmission, which will be the Revo 3.3 one. And I'm going to plan to buy the what do you call it? I think they call it the Optimize or the Opti something. Again, it literally just goes up to a speed sensor within the actual box itself, and then provides when it should shift, or when it's safe to shift, I suppose, into reverse or the second gear. So, you know, I want to have it as hands off as possible. If I have to do one shift, that's perfect. I don't want to be doing tons of shifts whilst trying to drive this thing, because again, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to flip through all these gears constantly. But yeah, that's what I've got so far. So I thought I would show you the actual design for the reservoir that I was talking about earlier. I've already made some couple changes to the thread pitch to allow it to fill better. On the original version, it was quite steep. I think there was only literally one thread pitch just coming up straight off from here. Of course, this is now changed, but again, I don't know if this is the correct thread pitch. Issue is, of course, I don't know if this will print correctly on an FDM printer. We'll soon find out eventually. If it will, there shouldn't be many issues there. And of course, you've got the same pitch in here as well, to compensate with the sides as well. So fingers crossed that should work. Moving on down into the actual tank itself, it's got a nice amount of capacity. I've not measured it whatsoever in regards to that space, but as you can see here, you've got your outlet and your inlet, which again has been spaced out to allow more thickness to the wall itself, so you have a bit more to screw into, with also the off pitch coming off here, so for better flow. But then also you can then tighten directly up to against this, instead of trying to tighten against an oval surface, because that never goes well. But yeah, this takes about, I think, about an hour 56 to print, which is within 100% infill, and I think a speed of about 100, with temps at 260, and bed temp is 75. But yeah, I mean, on a Sidewinder X1, I think it is, from Artillery, it prints bloody great. It's awesome. No issues there whatsoever. And yeah, it prints out watertight, so no issues there at all. So I think that's probably a viable way to go instead of using a 75ml nitro tank, because then at least I'll have something custom and that'll actually fit my needs, not trying to jerry rig something into the corner. But yeah,